Welcome everybody. It's 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, the 12th. Is it 12th? Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, the 12th of September. Oh, I thought that was, no, it's the 13th. It is the 13th. Yep. Oh well, that's ruined that intro. I always ruin intros. Anyway, here you go. Frank, Jordan, and the Earth Healers. Ta-da!
Good morning. We're here. This is going to be an interesting day. It's void of course, astrologically, all day long. Mike, do you have any comment on that?
Can you talk a little more? Come back to me in about 3 minutes.
All right. Other than that, the major thing I've observed is a tremendous burst of earthquakes. And these are all around the Ring of Fire and around the world. Just a highly unusual upset occurring, and I'm not sure what the source of that is. If any of you have any ideas, please bring them forward. But it's a lot of mid-range earthquakes, and we'll spend a lot of time today pulling that energy off because there's some real disturbances suddenly happening. And so we will work with that. And other than that, we will look at the unusual astrological influence that's happening now, and Mike can get that gathered up for us. And
I can go now if you want.
Go ahead.
Well, I do see that we have 3 major planets in retrograde motion, which is a phenomenon, but it makes them appear like they're going backwards. We have Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto all in retrograde motion. As a rule, the more retrograde planets at major events, you tend to have financial market tops, things like that. A lot of times you'll have 4 or 5 retrograde planets. So we have retrograde Uranus in aspect to Mars. Mars is in the 29th degree of its sign here, and so it's on the cusp of ingressing into Sagittarius. Sign changes often generate chaotic events. Mars being a planet of kind of war, hostility, major events, those kinds of things. And but there aren't any. There isn't anything like any clear big squares or oppositions. Although I see we are still, we've recently been in orb of Mars conjunct Saturn, which would have been a really kind of a nasty combination. So that probably has contributed to some of the geopolitical things that have gone on over the last, say, few weeks to a month. That's kind of what I'm seeing today.
Okay, and the void, of course, is quite prolonged today, and it came in on the eastern side at 9:30 in the morning, which would be 7:30 our time, and it goes out at 11:26 p.m. tonight. So look, to feel just generally open, spacey, non-focused. You can't really get too much interest in anything, and it's just a weird feeling. And the importance of it is it allows you to feel these other influences that Mike was speaking of, Mars, and it may make you feel warlike and things of that nature, or aggressive. So we will just pay attention to our feelings today, because this is a good day to really feel what rises internally within yourselves, whatever emotions are asking to be cleared. Your subconscious mind will push these to the surface, asking you to deal with them because they are causing stress. And the other aspect of that is the world being under stress from the earthquakes at this time. That could be a response to the world stress in general, which is quite high in anticipation of the global reset, financial reset, and the issuance of the RV of the Iraqi dinar, as well as many other currencies around the world. So, and this has all been held up one more time. We don't, of course, we never know on our level what that is, but it's so the people in power can manipulate or absolutely not want it to happen at all in the case of the Illuminati and the opposition forces. So as we move into this day, let's just have a little, take the opportunity to be introspective and retrospective, looking back at things that could be coming forward in our time frame to be dealt with in the way of unresolved situations and stress and things of that nature. And we talk about the best way to relieve stress or anything that's pushing at you, things that just rise in your mind as pressure. Sometimes you don't even recognize these things, but if you're feeling pressure in your brain, it's because there is a thought form rising from your subconscious mind to be dealt with. And at least that's what causes some of the pressures. And this is a body signal for us to see what hasn't been resolved in our lives, and to take the time to work through and resolve whatever situation it is, to free that from the solar plexus, because that's what will be sending the stress energy up into our brain. This is learning to manage your reality instead of being subjective to it. And then on a day like this, when we're feeling really floaty and unfocused, it's difficult to get anything done. But with your awareness of the astrological influences, you can directly put more energy into your intent and overcome those. As far as the world situation of the earthquakes, I'm not sure that the solar flares that came in and glanced off of us could be a large part of this, because it triggered low to mid-range activity all over the world. And it also could be an influence being focused by the flares of the astrological influences on the humanity stress that is occurring right now. Because it is all one world, and everything that happens in the world affects everything else, as well as the astrological influences. So I think the lesson for today is simply be aware of what you're feeling and organize your reality, get a focus, stick to it, become creative rather than being subjective. Because we have the strong Saturn influence, that is effects and things from the past that are pushing at us. And the White of Courses, as well as the retrogrades of the other three planets Mike mentioned, all have an intensifying effect on us. And so it's a very weird day out there. And with that said, does anyone have any suggestions of environmental problems or anything you'd like to work with today? If not,
I would like to add a comment. When you're speaking of releasing the stress in your solar plexus and the energies, I have found that by pressing in the middle of your stomach with your hands, with your fingers, put all your fingers together and press. You can do this at any time of the day. It will bring your attention to yourself and realize that quite often we are stressed, and by holding the pressure there with your hands or with a tool and breathing with it, and you will often come up with why you were stressed so that you can resolve those issues and move on, and that stress will go. Your body will relax, your breathing will become incredibly beautiful, and your whole day will go better. So by pressing there, at any given time, you don't have to be in pain. You realize just from one moment to the next different stresses that do come up in that center. So we can release them there and move on. Thank you.
Very good, Marilyn. That sounds like an excellent tool for us to internalize and utilize, because we just simply do not have to be subjected to our total reality. If we have a clue of what's going on and have the tools to work with, of course you can use your dowsing tools to determine what the influences are and what's affecting you. And mostly it teaches to be co-creative, to create our reality instead of being subjective to it. Okay, well, let's go right directly to the earthquake thing, because we're going to spend more time today clearing and releasing the earthquake energies. And then we'll send those into the solar grid, the golden grid, to bounce off this next flare that's expected today. So let's drop right into our meditation now. Take your awareness up into your forehead. And begin to drop right straight back, pausing there in the soul center. This is your point of I am, where your indwelling soul with its vast knowledge feeds awareness into our systems. And this is the opportunity we have to learn also, to bring it into our conscious mind awareness, which is in the frontal lobes. So let's just do a neat thing at this time. Take your awareness fully into your indwelling soul. Each of you individualized, not as a group now, just individually. And ask your soul, what is it that's important for us to learn today or to experience? And ask the soul to monitor our thoughts and our ideas and how we're creating our reality, so we become more aware of what's happening. Now, take this message right directly forward, back out into the frontal lobes. Energetically, just reach back out forward into the active mind. Make that connection. That's connecting us into the lateral plane of consciousness in the physical world of mental thoughts and ideas that's going around. And then hold that connection and step back deeper, deeper, back to the psychic center, and connect that into your intent also. And then drop back a level deeper into the expanded consciousness of the subconscious mind. And this will allow your subconscious to bring up information that you asked for with the conscious mind through the reticular in your brain. And so if you're just listening and aware, more information will come to you about your world and what to do with it. This is learning to listen, and listen with a point, with an intent. So allow that to happen for a few moments. Now you're working individually and internally. Take your awareness back to the soul center and extend it laterally around the world in the field of human soul consciousness. This is the group mind of the soul level. And you can listen to that to see what there is out there in the soul level of unified humans that are moving ahead on this planet. And it won't come to you consciously. That has to arise through the subconscious and into the conscious mind. But because you've asked the question with intent, it will come to you sometime during the day. Now move back into the psychic center and go laterally again and hook in directly into the psychic fields, the morphogenic fields of the psychic planes of consciousness. And this allows us direct communication where our intent can be directed out into the physical consciousness of mankind. And this is an excellent opportunity in a void of course day like this, when everyone is kind of open and not being impulsed by a lot of lunar influences. that this is an excellent opportunity to reach out into the group mind consciousness with the thoughts and the impulses of dominion, and the requirement of dominion in that our request, our intent is to create a world that's in balance and harmony and in association with the galactic flows coming in that are teaching us. So open up now to the galactic flow. And you feel yourself, your whole system settle into a state of knowing. Now this is knowing where you need to direct your intent, your energy today, in combination with everyone else with similar intent, directing that knowing to what we want to manifest and accomplish and bring into the earth plane. And this is vital because this is creating our new dimensional reality of the fourth dimension, instead of being subjected to the standing waves of everything that's occurred in the past and of the dominator forces that implode on us constantly through the media and through the group mind consciousness. Now you notice you feel different now. You feel more here, you're in charge. And this is the state of consciousness you want to be in, where your intent in dominion to enhance and create a world in the fourth dimension of peace, love, and harmony, balance, sharing, cooperating, nurturing, healing, long life, and using our shared intent to control the world population and to nurture everything of nature, to get in psychic attunement with nature through the subtle energy system, become one with nature in all ways, for this is truly where what we give, we in turn receive. So shall you give, so shall you receive. Now drop your awareness down the spine to the 0 point, and take this thought and intent into the 0 point and resonate it into the future, so it becomes a manifested form that affects all of humanity with the desire for balance and harmony, balance in all things of nature and harmony in all things of mankind. Resonate that forward. This is an interesting aspect of creating the fourth dimension. It isn't something we go upward to attain. It's already around us. We simply expand our awareness outward through higher frequencies of awareness and intent, spiritual intent, and that creates it. It's already here. It just needs to be fulfilled and brought into form. And you'll notice internally, you can hear a tone now, a hum. Now open up the back of your head to the galactic flow, and you'll feel that hum is directly in harmony with the energy that flow in through the galactic center, into our psychic system, down to our heart center, And we feel it in our hands. Feel your hands begin to tingle and get warm. This is our signal that we're in the state of consciousness to become co-creators with the polarity of the left hand, resonating with our low cells and earth mind, the polarity in the right hand, resonating with our high cells and oversoul, the male polarity. Now working through the 0 point, you literally have all of reality between your two hands. So let's create hold our hands about 6 or 8 inches apart and create a world of dominion between our hands. And you visualize a world of perfection and harmony. We see the world of the future resonating back to us from the future into this moment of now, manifesting the future between our hands in a ball, a beautiful golden globe of energy. And we're creating the prototype of the new world reality. And what you're feeling between your hands is the state of consciousness of the world as it is now. We want to amplify and raise the consciousness of the world, to amplify world awareness of our intent and of the need for every human to be in harmony and peace and balance. Now your hands are becoming like the antennas of the polarity consciousness of Earth. They're heating up more now as we resonate directly from our heart center, our 0 point, with the 0 point of Earth itself. Take your awareness to the 0 point of Earth and feel the reality of Earth in your hands. The northern hemisphere being positive polarity, the negative hemisphere being negative polarity, left hand, right hand, balancing the orbs, the 3 orbs of consciousness of the 3rd dimension, the 3 orbs being length, width, and height. And we extend the 4th dimension into that of time and space, which simply means that we have the opportunity in time and space to manifest a higher frequency on Earth, and we're in direct resonance with Earth mind now, and oversoul, positive, negative polarity, manifesting peace and harmony on the Earth, balance in trade, balance in our populations, balance in our financial structures, and through the power of the Christ within each and every one of us, we heal the traumas we've put upon the Earth. We heal the environment that we've injured and taken out of harmony. We do that in this globe we're holding between our hands, and through direct resonance out to every living thing on Earth and every geological, physical thing of Earth that has been destructed or disrupted or overutilized. we take that golden globe within our hands and raise it and put it in our heart center. This fourth dimensional globe of reality in our heart center in the 0 point, and feel that widen out from our 0 point to the 0 point of everyone on earth in direct harmony with the 0 point of earth itself. Utilizing our spiritual consciousness and the knowledge of our indwelling souls and the galactic knowledge that's pouring into us now, radiating through our hands. And we spread our hands outward now to encompass the world through our unified field, resonating into earth mind to clear the old standing patterns and waves of the Akashic records of domination, and resonating into the human grid of consciousness that's being created in the moment of now and into the future through the 0 point. And become one in total harmony with the earth, with the sun. We utilize the energy that's coming from the sun and in the solar flares being distributed around the world. We use that energy to enhance and empower our desire and will and intent. Desire being the female, will being the male. Intent is the indwelling soul that directs all consciousness. We feel the light of higher consciousness glowing within us now, radiating energy outward through our grids to the entire world. We connect this with the golden grid in the ionosphere for even more energy to direct our intent and will around the world. Now we hold that connection as we take our awareness back into earth mind and into Southern California, where we turn into the earthquake grid, feeling the energy that's building there, releasing that up our spines, up into the golden shield, empowering our stated intent. So we move northward up the San Andreas Fault and the lateral faults through California, up to San Diego, San Francisco, and as we do this, we're communing directly with the Devic forces that hold and are responsible for the earth movements, for adjustments to earth. We're setting our intent to allow us to free and clear and release potential buildups of energy and to utilize that energy for the benefit of the entire world. The Devic forces respond to this. And then go on northward to San Francisco. And up to the Oregon line, where we loop to the east, down the Sierra Nevada mountain range, all the way to Southern California again. And over to the Rocky Mountains, beginning in southern Nevada, all the way up through Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, the crater, the cauldron of Yellowstone, lifting that upward, releasing it. Now we take our awareness northward, or westward to the Pacific Northwest, and again harmonize the subduction zones with the steady release of energy that's released through the ancient volcanoes. Now move northward along the Pacific coast to the Gulf of Alaska. The subduction zone in south central Alaska. Release all those energies upward. There's thousands of them occurring constantly. Now direct your attention down through the Aleutian chain. There's a 5.3 at Little Sitkin. Lift that energy up. And then we move down the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench to Japan. And there's a 5.1 Ichinohi, Japan. That's close to the reactors, so we pull all these energies and use them in a whirlwind to suck up the nuclear radiation and send it up to the golden grid. Drop south through Japan now. To Taiwan. There's activity off the coast of Taiwan. Now we drop down into the Philippines and multiple mid-level 5.1 in that area of quakes occurring, many of them out suboceanic, but it does show major plate activity at this time, all the way around through Indonesia and the Java Trench, full length of the Indonesian crescent, all the way north into the Andaman Sea, 5.0 all the way up to Rangoon, India. And on north, along the border, Myanmar, Burma, Bangladesh, that entire crescent of major thrust fault zone is active, that plate. Now move back eastward to New Guinea. Again, unusual mid-range activity of 5.0 or above. Down through the Solomon Islands, Tonga, and the Kamadec Trench, Tonga Trench, southward to New Zealand. Now eastward to the East Pacific Rise. There's ongoing activity in the Easter Island region. We left that energy. And eastward into the Andes Mountains of South America. The whole series of 4.5s and 5s, nearly the full length of northern Chile. Lift these energies up through the ancient volcanoes, up into Peru. Up to 4.8 at Cecilia, Ecuador. Then to the subduction zone along Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, all the subduction zone releases. We harmonize those so it's a steady release. Lubricate the fault lines. All the way to north to southern Mexico. Now we move eastward to the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Ongoing release there of mid-range to minor earthquakes. Now we move into the Pacific and north to Iceland, where there were some major releases. 5.0, 5.1. We recreate our ongoing umbrella of energy to clear and continually clear Iceland. Now we move south to the Mediterranean. To 4.3. at Cuticolano, Italy, and southward into Greece, and eastward to Turkey, then on into the northern Himalayas, through northern Afghanistan, Tajikistan. There's multiple releases of mid-range activity there, 4.5s to 5s. Now move eastward to China. And 4.5 CLU Odu, China. This is in the high subduction area where the lower China subducts under the plateau of Tibet. Now we move back eastward to our point of beginning in Southern California. And further eastward to the fracking zones in Oklahoma. These seem to be amplifying also. And eastward to the San Madrid Fault. The New Madrid Fault at Ridgely, Tennessee. And into the Appalachians. Scattered fracking responses there. Alabama, Tennessee. Now come back to our point of beginning and lift your awareness back up into our mid-range of consciousness, into the human grid. Now reach out and feel the difference in the lateral plane of human consciousness from our earlier work. It's raised considerably from that almost low depressive state up into the mid-range frequency. So let's utilize the energy of the golden grid now to lift human consciousness even higher and free Earth mind of even more domination energies. Break the barrier in every human's mind that holds us into low self. Release the patterns, the psychological grids that are, and blocks that are created through the news media, through electronic means, from satellites, all the functional things that the cabal and the dominators use to suppress human consciousness. Release that. Strengthen our own resistance, our own internal resistance to these influences. Realizing that every time we turn on the TV set, we're being bombarded with negative energy, domination energy. Recognize that and neutralize it. Reach out into the common consciousness of electronic communications and neutralize that And we expand our consciousness into the electronic grid of the web that extends around the world through the internet. This is where we have the greatest influence, because each individual, when they approach their computer, has the right to utilize their free will, free choice, to choose for positive expression or to accept negative expression. So through the grid, we touch everyone who has a computer that operates on the grid, on the web. We send out through the web now love, through our hands, the galactic flow of unconditional love, harmony, peace and forbearance, so that we can allow everyone to be what they choose to be without dominating or influencing anyone. We simply give them free choice to elect in their own manner to learn and grow and evolve into a positive state of consciousness. We visualize the electronic grid around the world. It's an absolute solid mass of energy. We utilize the energy from the golden grid, from the earthquakes, to empower our desire and will and intent through the grid of consciousness, particularly in everything having to do with the financial shifts that are occurring at the present time. We empower the leaders in Iraq to complete their preparations for their evaluation. And we see in the future the evaluation triggering the world reset of the global economy. And we see that happening now. Now we bring into our hearts, remember the glow we felt when we unified all levels of consciousness at the beginning of the show. Bring that glow back now, resonating it out to the world with the intent that we've expressed this morning. The power to be. There's plenty of energy in the golden grid to bring this power into every human on earth. And we feel the opposition force dissipating away. That's the heaviness you feel, the resistance as you do this. We bring the light of our golden grid, our consciousness grid, our unified grid of intent, fourth dimensional intent, into the light and soul of everyone on the planet. So everyone's soul is inspired to bring forth memories of past incarnations in other planets. And to bring forth our awareness of the fourth dimension as it's evolving now. We resonate that around the world, and we feel consciousness lift a little higher. It is happening now. And now it's already in form as we resonate that into the future, and the future resonates back to us. And so it is. Now bring your awareness back into your own world, your own situation, your own desires and dreams, and take a moment to manifest those using our golden ball that we created, that you hold between your hands. Use that again to create your own personal reality of good health, good relationships, abundance, clarity above all things, resistance to any electromagnetic impulse from any source that may be affecting your systems. Bring yourselves on up into your desktop level of your frontal lobes. Come back into full awareness, knowing you've done a good job today, and it's well done, and it is done. Come on out now. Well, JP, we're back. We got a lot done today, didn't we?
Good. Oh, it's a nice afternoon. So I hope you're all well there. It's a lovely sunny day here in Scotland, and what happens is that as soon as you get a sunny day, the water evaporates from the sea, forms a great big cold freezing mist and rolls over the land. So it's called a har. So at the height of summer you get this freezing fog. It's great.
So are you guys gonna go separate from the Brits?
This I think is it's more of a publicity thing, I think, really, because to me, it's all a corporation, and countries don't really exist anyway, and all of that stuff. So real kind of agreements. But in terms of Scotland making its own decisions and doing that, I'm all for supporting that. I'm all for sovereignty.
We are too, if we could accomplish it.
Well, we start with ourselves, don't we?
Do all the people around you agree with your view? Like freedom?
Oh, most of my friends are, they're what they're called yes voters, or aye. And they say aye. So, it's my girlfriend's birthday, the day of the election, so hopefully we're going to have a nice party afterwards. But there are a lot of very dour and gloomy people in Scotland, and maybe on Sunday we can have a kind of see if we can lift any veils of cotton wool of 300 years of oppression and all that stuff, and bring Scotland back to sovereignty. How about that, Frank?
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Make that request, and we'll do that.
Thursday.
Does anyone else have any contributions or requests?
Quiet day.
Yeah, it is. Well, we did it all in the meditation, so what's left? Well, if there's
That's it.
no more to be said, we can pass along our way and have a wonderful day.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Thank
Bye
you,
now.
Frank. Thank you, JB.
Bye now.
All right. I'm going to drop Think Tank.
Hello. Greetings to everyone.
Hello. We're back.
I think she's off camping with her horses in the mountains.
Well, my dear Frank, it was done. Talk about hitting the 100th monkey. It was fabulous. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Frank, for conducting. It was incredible.
Well, thank you. That was pure inspiration, because coming into this broadcast this morning, I was so floating, so spacey, I didn't have a clue. So I just flowed with it, and that's what happens when we do that.
Everything was lined up exactly. The timing was perfect. And it couldn't have been set up more better. I don't know how, I don't have the words to explain on how beautifully everything was conducted, everyone, on everything. So that's why I'm saying thank you to everyone, and Frank, for you conducting us through it all. It was most wonderfully done.
Magnificent. Yes, I agree. And I was also thinking, like, there's a lot of us in the group. If through one of these shows something sparked you that you think you would be good to emphasize for the rest of the human beings, you can make that comment on the video on YouTube so that it could broaden and explain and enlighten more. You know, everybody sees and feels a different thing, and together, you know, you might click with somebody else and open them up to catching on and wanting to hear more and all of that. And the website too. That's what the radio station's about, is to enlighten us all.
Crystal, I'd like to hear from you, because you are the broader perspective that we can reach out through. Do you have any suggestions? Is there any way we can hook up through our new radio system to anybody you're working with out there that could really help get the word out? talk to Kimmery.
She's on mute. Where she's at right now, Frank, is, she's got kids running around, so she's been staying on mute and just been listening.
Oh, okay.
She probably has her mic muted. It's all the background. She wrote something in the chat.
Yeah, she made a nice comment there.
Yeah.
Kimmery, you know we always appreciate your comments if you could hear us now. And we welcome you to participate. And you certainly are a venue, a door to greater consciousness out there through your work, and we greatly appreciate that. Just throw the kids out the door. And Rachel's off having a wonderful time at the coast.